you're a single mom over 50, then this is just for you. I can share all the online dating tips, tricks, profile writings, pictures, and all that jazz. But it's not going to work unless you're doing or have these two important things. Number one is a deep belief that you are worthy of being loved, worthy of being adored, and that you are ready and open for love to come into your life.
I don't know why these women constantly sell each other on this snake oil, right? They just can't be honest with each other. Well, I don't know why it's so hard to just not deceive each other and be truthful. Instead of like telling each other what you want to hear, tell each other what you need to hear. And I think that's the biggest difference between men and women is men generally tell each other what they need to hear and not what they want to hear, right? If one of your buddies is like 30 pounds or 100 pounds overweight and he goes, hey man, I haven't been feeling good, you're probably going to go, it's probably because you can't lay off the Twinkies, son. You're 100 pounds overweight, right? Where a woman will be like, no, you look fine. You look fine. They just can't tell each other the truth.
And number two, you have to have clarity, not just on what you want, but what's healthiest for you. Because oftentimes what we want is familiar to us. It's what we grew up with. And for many of us, it wasn't the best. Maybe someone didn't listen to you. Maybe your feelings were never honored. Maybe you grew up in a toxic environment. Maybe you had dad issues, mom issues, and you're going to seek out a partner exactly like that unless you dig out all that stuff and figure out what you need the most. Healthy, kind, loving, connected, consistent. How does that person make you feel? Because that's what's going to bring in the healthiest love relationship for you.
What? I mean, some of that was true, right? I mean, if the woman has had childhood trauma, what these women that have childhood trauma generally do is they seek out a guy, like if they had an abusive dad, they tend to seek out a guy like that, right? They tend to seek out a guy who was like their father, and if he was damaged like that, she'll try to seek out somebody who was similar. So she's partially trying to tell the truth here, but still, there's a whole lot of malarkey in her little speech. But let's not waste any time and move on to the next one.
It makes no logical sense to label single women as bitter because there are millions of us and therefore millions of experiences of that. However, it's a very effective tool within our society to label single women as bitter, old maids, crones, spinsters, Bridget Jones, to mention our infertility and our decline in our value, because if you get to...
It's all true. And as I was just saying a second ago, the truth hurts. These women, I mean, the truth is like kryptonite to women, right? Or when you shed the light on like vampires or something, like, oh my God, here comes the light. They don't want to hear that. They want to be kept in darkness, right? They want to be kept in darkness. They want to bask in those lies. They want to bask in all of those mistruths that they've been told all their lives that, hey, honey, you boss babe, you queen that's been slaying your whole life, you could wait until you're 40 or 50 to, get married, and you could chase that career of yours, and you can have sex with every single man on every single continent when you go on your girls' trips, and there'll be no consequences, right? You'll come home, you'll find Prince Charming, and he will marry you off. You'll ride off on his horse into the sunset, and he will love you for the rest of your life. They feed them. Well, I shouldn't even say feed. They con them. They scam them. Like, not just women themselves, but the media. They're all complicit. The media, politicians, mostly on the left, some on the right do it too, but mostly on the left, they're feeding these women this con, right? This snake oil that they can be single and they could ride the carousel. Hey, no problem, right? You could chase your advanced degrees in college, do whatever you want, right? Bang dudes in different continents, it's totally fine. Come back, you will meet Prince Charming. No, it doesn't work that way. All that happens is these women stay on the carousel. They start to accumulate lots and lots of baggage, mostly emotional baggage. and also kids from different dudes and resentment towards men. And then they become bitter. This is why we call them bitter old ladies, right? They become bitter at men. They actually blame men for their own poor choices in life. So this is why these stereotypes, these stereotypical definitions exist that she's complaining about. Old maid, spinster, harpy, DG, you name it. It's because they are true, right? If you are over the age of 30 and still single, there is a reason why society frowns upon that, because you are telling the world that you can't hang on to a man, and instead of choosing to get married in your youth, you chose to ride the carousel. As I've always taught you guys, a woman in her 20s has two choices. You either find your husband or you ride that carousel, right? You ride the carousel. And then some dummies will be like, wait, what if she chased her career? Well, duh, what do you think she's doing while she's chasing her career, son? What do you think she's doing when she's getting home from her cubicle job? Do you think she's just going to sleep like a good girl or going to the movies on the weekend with her girlfriends? No, she's bringing dudes over from frickin' the dating app, from the Bumble, the Tinder, and the Hinge. Dudes are coming over and they're all yakking up inside of her in every hole and, sucking them off and you name it. These dudes are running, she's getting ran through essentially. And then by the time she hits her 30s, she's had so many men. She no longer has her youth, no longer has her fertility, has a whole load of baggage, and she's not even able to pair bond with a guy anymore because she's had so many dudes up inside of her. So now that she can't get the same quality of guys she did in her 20s, those chads, now she's bitter, right? I see this play out over and over, these single, bitter women. And then they get on TikTok complaining about how they can't get a guy their own age to date them because, these guys are going for younger women because they can't handle a secure, confident woman like myself with boundaries. It's like, what dumbass dude on the planet would want a woman who has all these boundaries and all this supposed confidence? It's more insecurity, right? Because confident people don't need to pound on the table and proclaim how confident they are. You just know they're confident, right? Much less do they need to get on social media telling you how confident they are. No, they just are, right? But you know who does get on social media and talk about how confident they are? Insecure women. Women who are single and bitter and who've been ran through and now are past they're past their prime. What can I say?
To undermine and invalidate the experience and input of single women.
Undermine and invalidate. Okay, here goes the blame shifting. This is why I always tell you guys, modern women, overwhelmingly, almost every modern woman you'll meet out there, that acts like this, that speaks like this, that uses this vernacular, is a narcissist, right? You can just Google yourself. I've done this too many times in previous coaching videos, so I'm not going to do it now. You can Google the top 10 signs of a narcissist, and you will see she, like most modern women, including her, display those signs, right? Just no accountability, blame shifting. She's doing that right now. She's the one who made those poor choices, decided not to get married in her 20s. Who's she blaming for? Is that she blaming herself? Do you ever hear these modern women go, I made some mistakes, and I'm just not going to make these mistakes anymore. I made poor choices in my past. Do you ever hear them do that TikTok video or, IG video? No. It's always her fault. It's these men. Stop calling us names. Stop calling us damaged. We're not damaged. I only slept with 300 dudes, right? I was just traveling the world in my 20s. I just wanted to do me. Yeah, you sure did.
You get to make it sound like something that's scary to be a part of. Because if single women were truly able to acknowledge their worth and their value as independent human beings.
Oh, if they were truly able to acknowledge their value and worth, so they can't do it. Where's this invisible boogeyman that is keeping these women from showing their value and their worth? Where is this person? There's always the invisible boogeyman that's oppressing them. Again, another trait of narcissism, always playing the victim, which these chicks always do. They're always a victim. Nothing's ever my fault. You're invalidating me.
A lot of you will be fucked. Of course, there's a projection of it. Many people cannot fathom being single and not being bitter, just cracking on, living a life, being content. So that reality isn't available to them.
Cracking on, yeah, you bet you cracked on. And this chick clearly is over the age of 30. You can tell her eyes are starting to sink in, and and she's just starting to. She's looking like she's probably heading into her 40s here. But regardless, where's the accountability? Where is it? And one more.
Know that the men who are trying to date young women are the leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can't get somebody their age to be quiet when they're trying to manipulate them.
So she's saying basically guys who date younger women who can get those younger women, which by the way are the highest value dudes out there, right? You can't really get like Joe Schmo blue pill sucker off the street that's 300 pounds overweight like she is to get some hottie in her late teens, early 20s. No, that guy can't pull that off. You'd have to have some social status. You have to have worked on yourself, and you just have to be a high value guy. So she's saying that the guys who date younger women are the leftovers. Clearly, again, these women love to lie to themselves. They love to just avoid the truth like the plague, right? Because the truth is just too hard for them to swallow, right? It's too bitter for them to swallow. So she, like most of these middle-aged women who can't get guys their own age, instead of being honest with themselves that younger guys don't want them anymore because their eggs have dried up, because they're damaged, because they're broken, they shame you instead. They go, oh, it's because you can't manipulate us like you manipulate these young little girls. Most of my high value friends that are in my entrepreneurs group, they're all dating younger women in their 20s. They are not manipulating them. They're just having a great relationship with somebody who is less mouthy, less insufferable, less manly. I mean, check out these chicks, right? In their middle ages, they just turn into dudes. So you gotta love how she just writes this off as, oh, you're just you can't manipulate us. Nobody wants to manipulate you, okay? Nobody wants to manipulate you, whale, okay? Nobody even wants anything to do with you. So don't worry about that. Nobody wants to date you, right? Unless they're forced to, right? Unless they can't get the younger women and they have no other options, right? God forbid. I mean, if anything, they'll just like use you for a bang, but I don't know anybody who would try that on this female. I'll try to be nice. But as always, gentlemen, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Anything you'd like to add, anything you'd like to share, please drop them in the comments below. I know you have a lot to say on this one, so drop them in the comments below. As always, this is M from the 33 Secrets signing out. Don't forget to smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and smash that notification bell for me as well. Helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. And for you guys who want to support my work, just jump into 7 Months of Mastery. Right now it's only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons from me. So take advantage of it. All you need to do is click the link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds, so do that now. And me and Cash will see you in the next coaching video. We're out.